Why are there so many cats? They're everywhere. No! Welcome to Typically Hazardous. I am Steven, and this is another episode. Oh, sorry. This is another episode of Cowboy Cooking. Today we are going to be cooking over a fire the way the good Lord intended it to be. You don't have to do this over a fire. You could do this at home on your stove if you wanted to. And we're going to be cooking one of my very, very favorite outdoor survival foods, camping foods, whatever you want to call it. It's the easiest thing in the world to make. You just find this stuff laying around. I think cooking it takes just a couple of minutes. Today is freshwater mussels. And I'm super, super excited to show it to you. Let's do it. Okay, all right, you gotta go. You're not gonna wanna be here much longer. Okay, so we gotta start with the fire. Really, come on. Really simple. This is just stuff around the property. We've got some dried grass. These are some dried big weeds that we have kind of towards our back pasture. And so we're gonna just make this thing up really quick. And I'm gonna assume you have an idea how to do this. But if you don't, here it is. Start with the little stuff, move on to bigger stuff, make sure it can breathe. That's about all there is to it. One time when I couldn't have been more than 8 or 9, something like that. My old man told me to stay and watch the barbecue. It was a propane barbecue. Oh my goodness. He told me to stay and watch a barbecue, and if the flame in this little hole that you could look through went out, then to press the red button again. And so I got bored looking in that thing and started playing, and I realized after a few minutes that I needed to go back and look at that thing and see if the flame was out. Sure enough, it was out. So I pressed that red button and the barbecue exploded. Actually, it didn't burn any of my skin at all, but it burned off the front of my hair. It burned off my eyebrows and my eyelashes like this is about to do. Woo. So don't play with fire. Not a good idea. So these are freshwater mussels. These just came out of a lake pretty close to our house. Now, as always, when you are eating any kind of wild game, make sure you check the regulations in your state to make sure that it's a species that you're allowed to actually eat. In Texas, where I live, there's about, I don't know, maybe like 25 or 30 different types of freshwater mussels and things like that. Most of them are endangered or they're on some list that you shouldn't go after them. And so just be sure that you know what you're getting into, whether it's this or fish or any type of game that you're eating. And they're usually really easy to find. They're usually just like right up on the shore or right along the riverbank. They're really easy to find. But once you pull them out of the water, the first thing you want to do is just wash them off. Just kind of give them, if you've got something abrasive that you can scrub them with, a brush or Teflon or whatever, give them a good scrub and you're done. That's your entire prep. That is it. All right, so when I made this fire, all I was doing was looking for some stuff that I could actually put these mussels on. And so we have these kind of broken cinder blocks around our property. And I said, hey, those are about perfect. You just kind of put them right on these rocks nearby. I think you just put them there and you cook them for, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 minutes or so. And what will happen, it's actually really important, the mussels that were still good, that hadn't died before this stage, once they start to cook, they'll actually open up a little bit. And that's how you know you've got a good one. You definitely don't want to eat one of these that's already died. And when you're picking them up just off the shore, you just can't be sure. If they don't open up and they've cooked pretty thoroughly, you can pretty much bet that that's not one that you want. And so if they just stay closed and you've cooked it for like 10 minutes, just get rid of it. You don't want that one. Put it in your compost or use it for a practical joke or whatever you feel like you want to do. But at this point, we just wait for a few minutes. You can kind of hear like some boiling water. That's actually these mussels. They still have a bunch of water. Actually, that right there, the water's boiling. And it's cooking these mussels in the water that was already in the shell. It's like the perfect little meal. You don't have to do anything to these at all. And they're so stinking easy to do. It's like nature's foiled dinner. They're just ready to go. And these don't open a lot either. It's not like in the cartoon where the thing like opens like super wide or anything like that. They just kind of open just a little bit. That's all that they naturally do. So they're starting to open up, which is perfect. The couple that haven't, these guys up here, I wonder if they're too high up. Yeah, I mean, I can still touch these, so. Let's actually, I'm gonna just get them right down in there. Woo-hoo-hoo. That one's more done. A little bit more to go though. But this guy, see that he's popped open a little bit, and all you gotta do here is just kind of pry it open. And there he is. You can see kind of all this water that's in it. And so all we're gonna do is we're gonna pull out the yummy stuff. And you can use a knife. Just use my hands. That works just as good. So he is not done, right? He's just kind of started to be done is all. And so what we're gonna do, something that I really like, is I'm gonna actually just skewer this guy. We're gonna actually just do that with all of these, and then we're gonna finish cooking them over the flames. I like that just because it gives them a nice kind of toasty flavor. Hey, hey, hey! Quit it! Cat's tried to run off with it. We're gonna have to wash it off. She drug it right through the mud. So be careful of wildlife when you're doing this. So look at this guy, and he looks pretty okay until you start pulling back over here and you see this dark spot. Now if you come back over here, I didn't notice this before, but this guy had a little crack. And so he was alive, but he's got all this grit and grime, and he was probably on his way out. And so, you know, better safe than sorry. I'm gonna just ditch this one. In fact, the cats will be really, really excited, and maybe they won't try to run off with it. You pull these out, they should kind of come out together. See how this guy just came out in pieces? That's no good. You don't want that. Here you go. Here you go. Eat it up. You hear that noise he's making? So we've got our skewer of mussels, and if you wanted to just go ahead and cook them all just right in the shell on the fire or on your stove or whatever, you could do that. It takes about 7 to 10 minutes, give or take. I took these off in about 4 or 5 minutes, and then we're gonna put them just right over an open flame for a few minutes. Not burn ourselves, hopefully. Oh yes. And we're just gonna angle that there and just wiggle this thing. Let these guys just, ooh, they're hot. Ooh. One of the nice things about them sitting on that fire like that is they get all that smoke, so you got a little bit of a smoked mussel there. And then the only thing, you don't have to do it, but if you've got it, just a little bit of salt right on top. That's it. Those are ready to eat. Let's try one of these suckers. Don't get any better than that. Really, really good. I hope next time that you're out near some body of water, you can pick some of these out and cook them just right there, right on the beach next to them if you want to. They're delicious and so easy. I think I'm gonna go and have a few more. Enjoy. We'll see you next time on Typically Hazardous.